Hey! Welcome to another Monday night. Welcome to another for The Forsaken. Yes. Glad to have y'all with us. Let's get right into it. A little summary from last week. We started out last week. Ren was trying to convince his father to speak with the other gnomes. Well, after they had kind of an uneventful night of night watch of trying to find someone who was sneaking up to Ren's sister's window. Ren tried to convince his father to speak with the other gnomes in the village about an escape plan to flee Mossville should the bugbear army advance any further. His father was ultimately in disagreement with the idea, but also gave a reluctant yes to having a small patrol on the outskirts of the village, as well as considering a plan B should Philip's magic dome fail. Feeling a little more at ease with his family's safety, Ren left the town with his friends, but not before checking out the rumor of a mechanical monster on the east side of town, which they heard that rumor from some children. It turns out that the creature was not a monster at all, but possibly one of Wineda's, who they met before in Fairweather and who helped them. One of her Warforged from Fairweather. And it held a peculiar flyer in its hand that they were able to get out. One that the party recognized. Also, once they were able to wake up the Warforged, a message. Echo. Ren, aware of the area, knew that Echo was a small seaside town not far from Mossville, so the team began their journey towards Wineda and hopefully towards some answers. What they didn't expect to find was a bugbear assassin, who they got rid of pretty quickly, but not before it was able to sink a dagger into Jurble's side, and thus causing him to hurt a bit. And yeah. Oh, and also I forgot that Rhaenyra also was kind of feeling some things too around that time regarding a certain mage that everyone has met.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I wrote that down though.
Yeah, Rhaenyra's got a kind of a feeling, or just all of a sudden started thinking about Kring when all that was going down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
And his book, which Rhaenyra tried to look at again, and it disappeared back at the orphanage. All right, so that is the start of tonight's The Forsaken. So Jurble, first off, let's roll a d4 for me, please.
Oh joy.
Has it been an hour since I summoned the disc? Because it only lasts an hour.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I can summon it again, but it takes.
Y'all were about halfway there, so yeah, it probably ran out.
I keep rolling fours. This is
okay. So you take 4 points of damage.
Yeah,
Jurble. In fact, as you're laying on that disc and it starts to like disintegrate, like you go kind of flying a few feet. Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. I'll get you another one right quick. I start summoning again.
For a second, I thought you said right click.
I just imagine you summon a second one right over me, like in my hands.
Poor Turble's having a rough day. Having a very rough day. Okay, so we'll say Rhaenyra is just for time's sake that you are able to summon another disc, or able to get Jurble on it. I'll say that you'll probably get there by the, it'll still be going once you get to Echo with that second one. Oh. Are you? Oh, you are. Okay. All right. Yeah, so y'all get to, I will change that and we'll fix the overlay in a second. Thank you for notifying me. So y'all had, I think I had you like kind of cresting this little hill, and all of a sudden you're kind of with that's another Warforged, with Rusty walking in front of you, probably about like 10 feet, since he knows where he's going. As you crest this little hill, you kind of see this lovely little seaside village, kind of, a few feet below, kind of going towards, and it's right there, right off of the coast. And so the houses are kind of on stilts. Some of the back ones are where there's some rock or more foundationed on that. To the left of this village is this very large craggy mountain. Not much. I mean, there's some greenery on it, but not much. It's mostly just jagged rock. But there's some trees at the top and some here and there along the side sprinkled. Yeah. Jurble, you kind of feel that, I won't have you roll, but you still feel that kind of tinge in your side of, and what you would assume would be poison kind of coursing through. Starting to feel, make a Constitution saving throw for me, Jurble.
No. What are you doing? 8. I think it's 8. Yeah.
An 8?
Yeah. I can roll it again to make sure.
I think I just had that for everyone. Okay. No. That's fine. You got an 8. That's great. Everyone make a perception check besides Jurble for me.
16.
13. Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Blew it on a perception check.
24.
All of you notice, as Rusty keeps walking ahead of you. I'm going to write that name down because I keep wanting to call him Rogue. I don't know. Rusty's walking ahead of you. You all just kind of simultaneously, oddly enough, glance back at Jurble on the flying disc, and he is unconscious. So you have about, I would say, Lord, again, maybe about 50 feet before you start getting into the very outskirts of town. So you still have about, a good amount of that's 50 feet, probably a good 10-minute walk before you start getting to the outskirts of the actual village.
I'll walk up to him and I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, all right.
No, I know it doesn't cure him, but it heals him enough to where he doesn't die.
Sure.
So Booyah, you get 11 points of health.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
So you do rouse just a bit, Jurble, but feeling very, very weak. Rusty will kind of stop in front of you and look back. He's now about 15 feet ahead from you, since I'm guessing y'all kind of slowed down a bit to do that. He'll stop and glance back.
Are we assuming Wineda will be able to cure him of this?
That Wineda what?
Rusty. Well, can Wineda cure him of poison?
Echo.
Okay. Can you take us to the place in Echo that will cure him of poison?
Correct.
Perfect.
And he will turn, and a little bit of a whirring mechanical sound as he does so, and will continue to walk in front of you. And so I'm assuming everyone's following. He will take you, okay, so you walk about 10 minutes, and you get to, you kind of go down that little slope. The grass kind of starts to give way to rock and sand as you get closer. And you pass, as you're passing, and say with your high perception checks earlier, the people that you're passing in this town look like look very different than probably some of you have seen before. Ren, since you're aware of this town, you would probably know what they are. For Silvera, Renerius, and Tegan, make intelligence checks for me.
Okay, intelligence check.
11.
18.
Okay.
16.
All right. I would say that Renerius, you're looking at them, and even though you're from like not too far from here, you haven't seen this type of humanoid before. Tegan and Pixrin, you would recognize these as Tritons. They do, from what that you've read or seen in person, they do look a bit different than other Tritons that you've seen in books or seen in person. They look a bit more humanized, most of them. And you don't see a ton of them. This isn't like a huge village. From looking around, you'd probably wager, and you'd be able to tell this to Renerius and Ren as well. You would wager that there's probably about maybe 30 homes and 10 public houses, like a place to eat. You pass a small inn that just has like an inn sign on it. It's definitely not that big of a village. And so you pass probably about 5 of these humanoid creatures with blue skin, some of them with greenish hair or blue hair, some of them with white hair. And some of them have odd mixtures of kind of redder locks as well, or blonder, blondish brown hair. And they kind of stare at you as you pass by with your motley crew and the Warforged. You probably would notice, given your high perception checks earlier, you would notice a couple of them see the Warforged and immediately start kind of leaving the area, going in the same direction. But Rusty continues on, passes about 10 houses, and stops at a door that has a wooden sign above a shuttered window that says healer. Correct?
We progress. Oh.
Like we're now in front of that place?
Yeah, you're walking towards it.
Silver's like, picturing. Sorry. She's looking around and like, I've never seen one of them in real life before. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Seen
yeah.
what?
These blue people?
Don't worry, you'll see him in a second, Jurble.
Blue people?
Yeah.
What?
They're not your cousins.
I would hope not. What?
I'm going to head towards the door with the disc following me.
Okay, cool.
This is
cool,
all
cool,
a
cool, cool, cool.
dream.
All right. So you head towards the door. And if you're opening it, it opens right up. Inside there are several crystals hanging, several candles burning. There's a looks like maybe some kind of stone made table that's in the center of the room, with a couple of blankets on it. It's a very warm space, like temperature-wise, but also has a kind of cozy, cluttered feeling to it. And you hear, as you come in, these little, like, trinkling, as things hanging from the ceiling kind of hit together. I'll be out in a minute. You hear a voice coming from an open door in the back of the room.
Okay, take your time, but don't.
Take your time.
Really?
Hey, does the disc just follow you, Renerius?
Yeah.
Because I imagine you walked
Now,
into the door and it can't fit the door.
How wide is the disc?
The disc, I believe,
Isn't it like 10 feet?
5 feet
Can he
wide?
fit?
I mean, the door frame, I would say that it probably won't fit.
Oh, nope.
It flips him on the
and
ground.
3 feet in diameter.
It's how big?
3 feet in diameter.
Oh, 3 feet in diameter. Wow, you're barely.
Wait, how is
staying on
Jurble
the
been on
table.
it?
He's sprawled.
Gerble's
yeah.
like hanging off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would say we'll say it just
Yeah.
fits. We'll say it just fits Renarius. And then you see this Triton like person coming out of the back room, and he's holding this big like wicker basket full of it looks like maybe bottles and containers, and one kind of like falls out as he's coming through, and I wasn't expecting so many. Please put the stick on the table, and he'll sit down the wicker basket on a table in the corner of the room.
All right, I'll motion to Picturing, like, give me a hand. We'll try to get We'll try to get Jurble on the table, because we're probably too big enough to handle.
All right.
I just picture like this is like a scene from like Octodad or something. Just arms flying around.
Alright, so you're able to, we'll just say you're able to put Jurble on the table, fine. The Triton with his kind of cerulean blue skin and mint green hair, he's wearing these very colorful robes with kind of this shawl tied around his waist. But also wearing a leather belt with some other satchels hanging off of it that look like that they have different containers and some crystals hanging from it. He will, as he approaches the table, he'll bring up his hand to brush up against some crystals that are hanging from the ceiling above the table that kind of cling together in this very melodic sound. And what is the problem?
Did you know you're blue?
He was stabbed and poisoned.
Oh, that's unfortunate. How long ago? And he'll start like getting some like containers out of his pocket and mixing some things together.
How long ago was it?
About 2 hours ago.
Yeah, about 2 hours ago. Oh,
I'm fine.
well, he's still conscious. That says something.
No, for now. He
So
wasn't
you
earlier.
suspect poison with the wound?
Yeah, we've actually healed him a couple times and he keeps dying. So
I will.
It's just a flesh wound.
Did you say that so casually, Ren?
He just keeps dying. I don't know.
We just did. I will present to the Triton the empty glass vial that contained what I pulled off the assassin.
The Triton will kind of like look at Ren when he said that, and like, okay, and he'll take the
Right.
glass.
I'm gonna say
vial
that
from
Zephyr in that moment says he did.
And
Gosh.
you think that this is what the poison was in?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll kind of open it up and smell it.
It's all part of the plan.
And he'll take it over to a table and kind of quickly wipe something in it. I think you're right. All right. Come back over to Jurble's body and kind of open up the little thing that he's been mixing things together in. And all right. This may hurt. Do you need a gag?
I'm a bugbear.
You got a good gag
no.
reflex.
At that point, make a Constitution saving throw, Jurble, as you feel this sudden intrusion into the wound on your side and this burning sensation that feels like it's going like directly through your abdomen and through your stomach, like up like through your legs, to your chest.
17.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you're able to, you let out a grunt of pain, but you're able to clench your teeth and stay focused. And as you look up at the ceiling, you'll see the kind of crystals kind of clinging above you, and the candlelight casting off different colors onto the ceiling, and that's above you. Okay. And you'll still feel that kind of probing sensation into the wound, and the stinging dies down a bit, but you do have a headache from the experience. Okay, that was the worst part, and he will kind of step aside and come back, and he'll start to bandage the wound, but then he will kind of the rest of you see him kind of look at it strangely, and then step aside again and come back with these crystals. They're smaller, they're all different colors, and he will kind of kneel onto the ground and just kind of toss them down and start, studying how the crystals fell, it looks like. And we'll start pointing at different ones, and you can hear him kind of murmuring to himself. And then he gathers them up and puts them into a little satchel on his belt. Well, this is interesting. And suddenly he becomes a little frantic, it seems. Not frantic, but just a little more haphazard with what he's doing, and he kind of rushes over to a table, and gets he'll get a cloth and come back over to the wound, and just kind of like, you'll feel a little bit of a hit against it, Jurble, as he is dabbing the cloth just a little bit inside the wound. And then we'll go back over to the table, and of course Jurble isn't seeing this, but the rest of you are, and start mixing things together again. And it almost looks like he puts it into the jar that you gave him, Tegan, and he'll kind of hold it up to the light. And those watching make a perception check for me again, please.
13.
Perception, 16 plus 4, 20. Dirty 20.
8.
You say 8?
Yep.
Bless. Ramirez is just so Ramirez, you're just so fascinated by the crystals around you, and you're looking at Jurble and the pained look on his face.
He's blue.
A little scream around blood.
Pixar, what was your perception check?
Sorry, kids were talking to me.
You're fine.
Perception?
Yeah.
Let's see how perceptive I am, because she is very distracted by the blue skin and all of that. Yep, it's a 15.
Okay, all right. So everyone except for Nereus, you would notice that the liquid inside the bottle glows a little bit, and then immediately starts clouding and turns black.
Is that a good sign?
What is that?
He turns to the rest of you, kind of holding the bottle. I'm not really sure. This is the second case that I've seen like this. Poisoned. And unfortunately, I was able to get the poison out of your friend. And he seems really kind of taken aback that he doesn't know really what to say here or what he's experiencing. There's something left that I'm not sure I can get rid of.
In our friend?
Yes.
What is he saying? What?
You gotta look surprising you. What happened to the other guy? Did the other guy survive?
Well, they left the town before I could get a proper diagnosis. I think you're coming through, and we're experiencing similar symptoms, and I couldn't get everything out then either. I'm not sure. This is bad. And I mean, I assume it's bad. Hold on a second. And he will go to, he grabs this kind of larger crystal and puts it in his hand, and you can see his hand kind of pass over it. And Rhaenyra's, you would recognize this as the light spell. And yeah, and anyone else, if you could cast similar light magic, would recognize it. And the crystal glows brightly. And at this point, he's standing probably about, let's see, no, not even that far. Probably about 5 feet away from Jurble. He steps just up to Jurble and puts the crystal almost touching the wound, but not quite, because it's a couple of centimeters away. And the crystal stops glowing.
What's happening?
He will kind of look to the rest of you. It seems to have an effect on magic. I noticed this with the other one too. His name was Robert. I didn't get a last name. So they were just passing through the town. And I noticed this with, at the time, the one of the people that were with him had a magical object, and they stepped up to take care of him and or to wake him up after he unfortunately didn't, stay conscious during. And well, I mean, not unfortunate. He was fine, but not quite as sturdy as your friend here. And they stepped up to him, and the magic object went dead. As they touched him.
Are you saying we should confine him from magic or magic items or?
I mean, I'm not. And he'll kind of step away and cast the light spell like about 5 feet away from Jurble again onto the crystal, and it lights up. It doesn't destroy them. It just makes them not work. Or it kind of dispels the magic. But I'm not sure why. If you... do you have any plans on going to the Iberus Empire?
I mean, maybe. We're really going everywhere right now.
Well, I can't speak for other
if
places.
you pointed in a direction, I would tell you if yes or no.
Well, it's north of here, northeast. If you're, do you have a map? I can point it out.
Yes.
If you're heading that way, and he will point on the map where the Iberus Empire is, and it is northeast. It's on the eastern coast, kind of mid-Osbergen. On the eastern part of the coast. Everyone make another intelligence check for me, please.
Oof. I know nothing.
16 from Jurble dead on the bed.
Wow.
Intelligence check, right?
Yes. What was yours, Rhaenyra?
Well, I even have a +0, so it's definitely a 1.
Oh.
12.
I rolled a 7. She's just looking around,
Okay.
distracted.
I would say Jurble, Rhaenyra,
That's a pretty map.
and Tegan. It sounds familiar, but Jurble, Rhaenyra, you would know. You would remember. Someone mentioning the Iberus Empire, I think to the entire group, we'll just say it was, that
Wasn't
this
it
was
John?
another possible floating city.
No.
Is that place floating? Floating city.
I believe it is now, yes.
Well, then how do we get there?
Uh, they have worked out a system of people getting up to the city with the right pass, and you can see the guards there. But anyways, they have a wonderful religious district that has some really, really outstanding healers that I believe your friend could benefit from. I want to assure you, I don't think this doesn't seem like that but I haven't had any extended study. It doesn't seem, and ever since he healed you, Jurble, you do feel a lot better. Yeah, you feel fine. It's still kind of sore, but you feel okay.
I'll sit up.
It's not, I mean, your friend looks fine. He seems fine. Are you feeling okay? Anything else going on?
Not that I'm aware. I'm gonna, since I'm in there, I'm gonna just try to druid craft a flower in my hand or something. Just flower power. It's just
It doesn't work.
oh, that's a problem.
What, your hand doesn't work?
No, I was trying to make a flower, druid craft, something that he taught me.
Excuse me a moment. I'm gonna walk outside, and I want to use message, and I want to try and send a message to Jurble.
Okay, all right.
Don't we have the keys?
We do.
He's testing science, okay?
Yeah, he's testing science.
I'm just a simple bugbear. I don't know.
Make an Arcana check, Rhaenyra.
Okay. $24.
Okay. You send out this message, and you feel it kind of you can usually feel it, if you're really attuned, to yourself and to what you're doing. You can feel it kind of almost push out from you. Like you're almost throwing like a paper airplane. And while you feel it hit something, it doesn't, you don't feel like that it landed. You feel it more dissipate than extend.
Okay. I'm going to walk back in and say, "Oh no! This yes, our friend is right. This is not good. This is probably bad."
Hi.
What did you do?
I tried to whisper a message to Jurble, and it dissipated. It didn't do anything. I want to also cast Minor Illusion, and I just want to put a big yellow smiley face to on the wound.
On the wound?
Yeah, just yellow smiley face.
I can't see it. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
As he's doing that, I'm gonna run outside and try and just message with the key and think, "Can you hear me, Fuzzy Ball?"
Do we all hear that, or can you target people individually with that?
I don't think you can.
You weren't told that you could. But
I don't know if I can or not. I'm definitely focusing on just Jurble, but if it goes to everybody else.
Jurble, you hear it. No one else does.
What do you call it, Fuzzy Ball?
Your mirror image, not mirror image, minor image.
Yeah, or minor illusion. Sorry.
Minor illusion. Sorry. It hit it. Because you do if you're putting it on the surface of his wound, you go to do that, and the spell casts. But when it hits Jurble's skin, it dissipates, and you feel that same kind of feeling that you did with the message.
That's very, very weird.
What did you do? What did you do?
I tried to do this at the site of your wound, and when I say this, I want to project that smiley face onto his face.
Okay, so it's not all bad. Who called me a fuzzball?
Does it?
I come in. It worked.
How far are you standing away from Jurble, Ornerius?
10 feet.
Where are you casting the minor illusion?
On his face.
No.
Doesn't work. Okay.
Hard shut.
It didn't work again. I tried to make you look happy, but it didn't work.
Guys, Jurble said he heard my furry ball thing, so it works. We can talk through the key still.
Oh,
That was you?
I mean, maybe. I can either confirm or deny it.
Well, I wish I could help more, but I'm kind of I just don't have the knowledge to know what to do in this situation.
That's totally fine. I think you've helped us quite a bit. You've both helped him and also made us aware of it, rather than some low-level healer who wouldn't have even noticed.
Sure. Well, I'm glad to help.
What do we owe you?
And just at that time, Wineda comes in through the door. Oh.
Hey.
Oh my
You were our
goodness.
next stop.
And she will just kind of, look at all of you excitedly. They said that they described who was coming in, and I thought that it sounded like you, but I wasn't sure. So, and then plus, Rusty, not Rusty, she wouldn't call it Rusty.
She wouldn't know his name, Rusty.
Prophesied. And the Warforged, you found my Warforged.
Yeah, Rusty was great.
Rusty?
I named him Rusty, by the way.
Oh, well, that's
please,
fine since I didn't have a name for him. So
Perfect.
Rusty it is.
Perfect.
So and she'll kind of look at the healer. Kalos, is everything? And she'll look at the rest of you. Is everything okay?
No.
He
It's all right. Jarvis just he's kind of a magic blocker.
Kind of a magic
Oh.
buzzkill, really.
I got stabbed. And then I poisoned. And then now I can't do magic. Which is great for an arcane archer. I'm so excited.
That's interesting. Kalos, was there nothing that you can do? How long are you planning on being in town?
And I mean, I'll look at everybody. I mean, we were following the Warforged to you,
Rusty.
Oh,
Rusty. So you tell us, what were we doing?
It seems to be that we don't stay anywhere very, very long.
It's really 50-50.
Kalos, the healer, and you'll kind of look at Wineda and the rest of you. I can call out. I can give a call, send a message to someone I know in Iberus, and see if they have any advice on anything I can do here. I know it's quite a ways. Wouldn't want you to send you up there. Just perhaps maybe they couldn't help him anyways. So I'll reach out and see, and I'll find you. I'll be. They'll be at my shop or somewhere in town. You'll see us. Just message me when you have something. Okay. All right.
Okay. How?
Do we owe you anything?
If you're friends of Wineda, it's on the house.
Jurble will
Thank you.
just reach into his bag and just plop 30 gold on the counter. The house.
Thank you.
When he gets injured, he gets drunk. That's what Jurble does.
Very much appreciated. I'll be in touch. I'll let you know as soon as I find out something.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, I'm picturing by the way. Aren't y'all supposed to be like in water?
Oh, well, my people have come up on land in the past, couple of 100 years. A few of us came up, well, not us, but my ancestors came up from the ocean here, a settlement that used to be there, and a couple of 100 years ago, and we've, or 100? Wineda kind of shrugs. It's a long time. And we found home here, so.
Is there a particular reason why everybody decided to come on land?
Well, our settlement, my grandparents' settlement underneath, just kind of, we were attacked and by creatures who aren't coming up here, but kind of driven out, and instead of going further into sea, they decided to do a little exploration onto the land, and, well, I intermingled with the humans here, and here we are. You have a lot of halves here, a lot of mixed couples, Tritons and humans.
Oh, that don't bother me none. I've never seen one, and sorry, it's the first time.
No,
meeting.
It's
I hope
fine.
I didn't offend you. I was just y'all are so fascinating to look at, and all the crystals and everything, and just
Well, not all my people are, like this, but I found solace in it, and as a healer, it's good to have cleansing energy when you're working.
Crystals do what now?
They can cleanse the space according to what crystals you use. I also, and he'll kind of take out the pouch again. I also read crystals. It's my gift.
Hey, is that what you were doing on the floor?
Oh, yes. And he'll kind of push hair back from his face. Yes.
I almost thought for a second that you dropped them or whatnot. So wait, how do you? Were there like words or something that popped up that I didn't see, or like how do you?
No, you just hold them, and I pray to my gods, and I kind of just cast them down, and where they land and how far away they are from each other means different things. I did it after examining Jurble, and it told me there was something off, something wrong. Something dark.
Hey, Rhaenyra, this might be a good thing to learn, right?
If it's a gift from a god, maybe I could learn it. I don't know. I would love to, though.
Are you a healer?
No.
Oh, you can still learn, probably.
I study arcane magics. I don't know if it's the same type of magic that I use.
Oh, it's no magic. It's cosmic.
So it's magic then.
No.
So
It relies on the universe, on fate, on destiny. Relies on energies.
As does arcane magic.
It's different, I assure you.
I'm gonna glance at Wineda. What is Wineda's face? Right now?
Wineda's kind of like standing there, like with her like.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand.
No offense taken. I'm just explaining to you that it is. I do both. I do magic and the more earthen arts, and this.
You like a druid?
No, I'm a healer.
You have a pamphlet that comes with those crystals?
No, I haven't. I know that my friends in the Empire have suggested material to give to people, but we don't have a press here, and it's a little difficult.
Rude.
Yes.
Oh! Look at the time. Wineda, we should check on Rusty.
I want to learn more about this stuff. This
Thank you for healing.
You put your hand on the crystals and stuff.
Yes.
Is Pixrin like putting her hands on the crystals?
They're so pretty and shiny. I want to learn.
Sure.
Do you take? Is there a way that I can learn on the road though? Because we are kind of busy.
Picture just pockets a bunch of crystals.
It's like a cat.
I will see if there's anything I can send with you when I contact you again about after I get in contact with my friend in the Empire.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I again, just message me when you have something Kalos. I will take these take my friends somewhere else. And she'll just kind of like awkwardly step out of the shop and
Thank you again.
Pixar gets really sad for a second. It's just
Tegan will ask Kalos if
go
go ahead.
go outside, out the door. She'll just stand outside and wait for everybody. If all right.
Wineda will see you kind of walk out and look a little bit dejected. Pixar, oh, don't. He's very focused. I'm sure if there's a way that he can teach you the crystals, he will do so. They're a very stoic race.
Very what?
You know, serious, focused. I kind of envy them a bit. I wish I could say as focused as they do. I struggle, but you know, I guess everything that needs to be done, it helps, you know, keep me busy.
Okay, so they're like logical and they're kind of like a one-track mind.
A little, but also very interested in what's happening up here. They are very interested in land customs. So, which might be why they Kalos picked up so quickly on the crystals, and I don't think that was something. That's something he wouldn't have learned if he was born under.
Do you think they'll ever get back?
I don't think that they want to go back. I mean, and she kind of looks out, and Pixar, as you look out kind of amongst, and you see some people kind of, and again, like some of the Tritons. Now, Kalos seemed a little bit more Triton-like. And some of the Tritons that you see here look very human, and you see humans walking amongst them too. So you do see some of that kind of like intermingled genes in there. Their families are here, and they've kind of made themselves a little community. So.
Well, as long as they're happy and safe. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Tegan, what were you doing?
I was going to ask Kalos is there any way.
He's like gathering his stuff and.
Did you
cleaning
get
off.
any of that on that cloth that you used? That maybe I could take a sample and put it in a vial or something. So if we do get to that
here, and he will find kind of like he'll go in that wicker basket he brought in. We'll start shuffling around. You hear clinking of glass in there, and he takes out this little vial and pours a little bit of liquid from the other vial into it and puts a cork stopper on it. Here, please.
Okay, so we can see if we can get it analyzed and see if we can find out.
Analyzed?
Yeah, like if someone can figure out what this is. I'm not talking about the stuff to cure them. Well, I could probably use a sample of that too, but the stuff that actually caused the problem, the poison. Was there when you dipped a cloth into the wound, right?
After I cured the poison, yes.
Oh, okay. So there's probably nothing on that cloth that would help.
No, that was post-poison.
Okay. All right. But this, and I'll hold up the thing. This might help if one of us gets poisoned again.
No, that is, you said you needed something for analyzing. That's a little bit of what was in the wound after I removed the poison. Mixed with a couple of properties to help distinguish it.
Okay. Well, can't hurt. Plus I've consumed it. But...
This is what showed me something else was there. This isn't poison exactly. It's something different, something I don't understand, but I saw it before with the other that came through.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And he will go back to gathering his things. I'll be in touch. And kind of take something into the back room. Are you heading out, Tegan, outside with the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Victor, maybe you can get like a beginner's crystal reading kit, like at a gift shop or something.
We do have a general store here, but I don't think that they have that. That's kind of a Kalos thing. But maybe somewhere else. Maybe in the Empire, if you ever get up there. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I haven't seen anyone use them anywhere else. But I've only been to the Empire once, and that was a long time ago. Please, let's continue on. Everyone make again fresh perception checks for me for as you're walking through the town.
Oh, that's
23.
14. I swear, every first perception check I do every week is a 14.
So 24 total.
Okay.
I am an 11, and I'm just like walking along, just sad, just.
Anyone with a 12 or above, I'll say that as you're walking through the town, you can see. As I said, it's a small village, and there are a few docks that kind of go out towards the ocean on one corner of the village, with a few small boats attached to them. You might see like one boat out in the waters. You do notice that the anyone with 18 or above would notice that the ocean looks a little bit calmer than what you would expect to see an ocean look. Not quite like, there's definitely still a tide coming in, but it's not, it's very, very chill. It's very, very low key. It is vibing. So
Dude.
yeah, it's
just vibing.
it's just not that big of a, it's just the tide is very, very subdued. And you see the mix of the Tritons and the humans. That's really all that you see here as far as humanoids or races go. You'll see a small little, what looks like maybe a restaurant that has like an open window where a couple people are getting sandwiches. You see a couple of people, kind of a couple of Tritons working with fish, and doing some cutting up some fish and getting some fish together that it seems like they might have brought in on a boat. And you see that very small inn. You see a small general store. You also see a bugbear here and there. In a guard, like a soldier type uniform. You'll see a couple talking by the docks, and you'll see one kind of walking around the town. Wineda is kind of leading you in a direction. And you would see her kind of nod at a passing bugbear in a soldier's uniform and just keep walking. Rusty is walking almost side by side with her.
Do they look like uniforms we saw in Bornheim?
Actually, this would probably be a better question for you. Do I recognize these uniforms?
Make an intelligence check, Jurble, for knowing if they were the uniforms that you saw in Bornheim. For those that saw, I don't remember who it was that made those perception checks and made them. But whoever did,
I know I did for sure.
Okay, then yes.
And I did as well.
You would, yes, these look like the uniforms that you saw in the bugbears outside of Bornheim that were guarding Bornheim.
Jurble just sees bugbears and he's just kind of averting his eyes and he doesn't look at them because I rolled a 5.
Okay, all right. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep following her. Follow her lead. Seems she's the one that's from here. So
Wineda will lead you to kind of a smallish house. A lot of the houses here are made of wood. There are a couple of cobblestone ones kind of towards the back of town, or if they're towards the mountain a bit more. The town seems to kind of go right up against that huge craggy mountain that goes up, and then it almost seems like there's like maybe a little path that kind of goes around the mountain that kind of goes in between the shore or the sea and the mountainside and kind of goes up a bit. She leads you to one of the stilted houses that's closer to the shoreline, and lead you up a small little flight of stairs to a doorway in the back of that house. She opens the door and just kind of gestures for all of you to get in. She hasn't said a word this entire time, but is kind of. Most of you would notice that she continued to smile throughout her entire walk here, and then as she steps in, she still smiling, but it's not as, I guess, put on. Please come in. Hurry.
I step in.
Yeah, I
go in.
And she'll
Slowly
quickly
walking. Still pouting.
Tegan, are you with the group? Tegan, are you with the group? You're muted.
He's muted.
Yeah, I just unmuted. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I am with the group.
Okay.
Tegan had to duck down an alley and
Okay.
relieve himself.
Sure. All right. So
Tegan killed 3 bugbear guards.
as soon as the last person steps in, Wineda will quickly shut the door. For those walking in, you don't need perception checks here. It's not that big of a space, but you walked into this kind of room that is filled with metal and pieces of Warforged and pieces of mechanical things, and just the walls are covered with things hanging up. There's about 3 tables in there that are completely covered. There are plans on the floor and hanging up on the walls. This place is completely filled with her craft. There is a few spaces kind of cleaned off. There is a small little looks like maybe a little kitchenette almost area. Like there's a wash basin. Looks like maybe a something to heat up something with. Also a small table that has a couple of things on it, but it seems like it's been cleared off with like 2 or 3 chairs there. And like a doorway leading to somewhere in the back. Welcome to my office. This is kind of my place I share on the back of my parents, the house that we kind of started living in here. So, I'm
glad to see you're all right. We heard Bornheim was overrun, and we expected the worst.
Yes. It was interesting. Me and my parents honestly barely made it out. But here we are, and thank you again for bringing Rusty back or allowing him to guide you here. I'm not sure which is which, but thank you. I'm glad to see all of you. I didn't know what happened. I heard about I heard about Bairn, and I honestly thought, the worst.
Yeah.
It was bad, but
we escaped in some way. I think largely because of Regina.
So she's alive?
I don't think so.
Oh, sad to hear.
Dead.
Zephyr, be quiet.
No, Zephyr.
Little voice in the corner. Let's
Yeah,
just
but-
say floating cities aren't our thing.
That is unfortunate. Well,
What's going on here? We saw some bugbears in town.
yes. They are from the army. That is in Bornheim. They quickly found this place not too long after we did, and I don't think that there's any living here right now. In fact, we've had a couple ask, and they've been told that there are no houses available. They've requested something be built for them here. But right now they just come through and buy some fish when we have it. And, just kind of keep an eye on us. It's a very small town.
Crave shrimp.
I'm sorry?
Nice, what? I just said bugbears crave shrimp. Sorry, I'm just speaking.
Well, they do seem to like the fish. Unfortunately, we haven't been getting that much in lately. And I'm not sure if it makes them not want to come here, makes them not want to come here less, or if it just makes them angrier. I don't know. Hoping for the former. Also, being in this small space and probably looking at her, she's talking, you would notice that it looks like she's trying to build, because you had to destroy kind of the metal encasing on her arm before because of the crystals to remove them. It looks like she's built a little bit of she's working at least on building like a metal framework to kind of cover that up. So, you can see I'm still kind of working on my craft here, and so what's do you have? I mean, I feel like we both have questions for each other, and what is there anything that you need to know, or is there anything that what has been happening?
Did you leave Bornheim before it was invaded, or when it was being invaded?
Oh, well, a few of us, they tried to, apparently the castle received word, Lady Anselm received word beforehand that they were advancing, that the bugbear army was advancing. They were able to get word out to a few of us in the city, in the town, but it was almost like they didn't expect them to come so quickly. I feel like that there were, like, 1 second there were some, town criers rushing around to knock on doors, and then the next moment there were a few bugbears standing in the corner of the city or standing by the gate. Thankfully, my parents were actually visiting some family members outside the city, so I was able to just get myself out and then get word to them to come here. Yes. And they were able to get Lady Anselm and Jurheim were able to leave as well.
Oh.
Where are
Do you know where they went?
Yeah, they're safe. In fact, and then about that time, a cloaked figure just comes in the door into the shop, and cloak completely over the face, completely their hands and arms are completely covered with either wrappings or bindings, or it has gloves on. They kind of come in without saying a word with their head down, and they stop as soon as they come in the door, kind of realizing that there are other people in the room, and then quickly step over to Wineda and hand a satchel to her. And it kind of clinks together, so it seems like it might be metal inside. And the figure starts turning and starts immediately going back towards the door, not saying a word or not looking up at any of you. Wineda, wait, and the figure stops. How did it go? Was it a good day? And just kind of stands there. I think you'll want to speak to these people. And the figure turns and gently kind of pushes the hood back, and it is Jurheim. Completely like a short beard forming and stubble, a stubbled beard, a stubbled mustache. Looks very ragged, very tired. You can almost see the circles under his eyes, even on his greenish blue skin, mostly green, with blue hints in it.
Was Jurheim the orc baby daddy?
Yeah, and also
Jurheim was serving with Lady Anselm. Yes.
Right. Okay.
It was never confirmed if he was the baby daddy.
We never saw the kid.
And
he's also Zelthura's brother.
Yes.
He's wearing this kind of like deep purple hood, and the rest of his clothes are kind of mixed of browns, blacks, and dark grays, wrapped here and there. And it said it's very like showing no skin. It's even kind of put up or kind of close to his neck. And he kind of looks over, and he has a large scar over one eye.
That scar wasn't there before?
No, he looks considerably worse than what y'all remember seeing him before. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see the group of you.
We weren't expecting to see you.
To you. Yeah.
Look like shit.
He kind of looks at Wineda, and you can see, because I'm assuming most of you are probably watching him, like, you can see this kind of, like, almost pleading look in his eyes as he looks to Wineda and back at you, and pleading yet tired. And I'm glad to see that you've survived. We, of course, heard about Baron at the castle.
We
It was
managed
unfortunate.
to escape.
Apologize for the lost supplies.
Oh, that...
Wait, what happened to the baby?
Wineda kind of interjects. Let me make some tea for all of us. And she would go over, and start turning on like these kind of weird burners that you haven't seen before, and start getting some cups out of a cupboard. I take it you know about Bornheim.
Yeah, we saw that.
Good. Well, I don't know what Wineda told you, but we escaped and we came here, actually. They hit us. And that was, a couple of weeks ago now. And last week, Lady Anselm went missing.
Say that again?
Lady Anselm, she's missing.
And when did she go missing?
About a week ago. I woke up and she was gone.
Was this before Bornheim was taken?
No, this was after we came here. We were staying in a cave, into the mountain, and right off the shore. And I don't know. I've been looking for her, and I don't know. I don't know where she is.
Do you have any suspicions on if she was taken or if she just left?
No, I think she left willingly. I found a journal that spoke of, she was obsessed, and I don't know. I fear she went back to Bornheim to try to possibly help the bugbears.
What?
Dude, she was obsessed? Was there anything that she was saying or doing that was... Why would she
want to help the bugbears?
There was something in the castle that she guarded with her life. I kept it closed off. I don't think that you saw it when you were there, but no one really saw it except she and I occasionally. But even me, she would sometimes close out. It was something that was important to her parents. A gold ball of sorts with rings, and apparently her parents used it and to, well, the stories go, and her story goes, that they used it to bring her back to life. And it was used several times over the course of a few years until it wouldn't work anymore. And she was under the understanding, or became kind of under the understanding, that the bugbears found it and got it to work again. So I believe she might have went there to, I don't know, possibly trick them into reclaiming the item. Maybe try to sneak in to use it herself and be captured. I don't know. I really am at a loss. She didn't confide in me anything about it. So.
Was there any chance she didn't go voluntarily, or are you pretty certain she?
There was
went
no
on
sign
her
of
own?
struggle. Yeah, there was no sign of struggle in the residence. And I wasn't awoken to anything, and yes, I don't think it was. I don't think that she was taken. She would have put up a hell of a fight if anyone came in. Very forceful when she wanted to be.
Is the majority of the army in Bornheim, or did they just conquer, leave a detachment, and continue on their conquest?
I've been doing some scouting, since I suspect that's where she went. And it seems that it's only a part of the army, but because I scouted a little bit past there towards the peninsula, I didn't go deep into the peninsula because that's mostly wasteland now. But I did see some more army into the peninsula, yes, but there is a heavy guard presence in Bornheim. I feel that there are at least some important people to them there. I'm not sure why. I mean, maybe it was the artifact. Maybe it was the thing that she cherished, but I don't know. She also thought that it was, apparently the object was given to her family by the Great One. It just appeared one day, around 70 some years ago. I know that she doesn't look that old, but she is, according to her and history. Technically, I think she might be 75, even though she looks younger. Not really sure why, and she never really answered why. I just miss her.
Out of character, did Kazeel ever tell us about his age stuffs, or was that all
I don't think he did.
not known?
Kazeel told us nothing.
No, there was or was that
Oh.
after Kazeel left, when we all had that moment where we said what our ages were? I think that was after he
Yeah,
left.
that was after. Yeah. Yeah.
Tegan's going to find a little spot half away from where Jurheim is, and clutch the pendant and ask everyone, should we tell him about Zelthura?
I'm gonna kind of just just kind of like nod and just then
I will say, interject really quickly, that
Okay.
your pendants do feel only slightly warm. Just a tinge warm.
Just throw that.
Kill him now. No, I'm just kidding.
for all we know, it could be the thing inside me.
Oh yeah, you ruined it for all of us. Now we'll never know.
Yeah.
I know.
You suck.
Kill the bugbear now.
Jurheim will sit down. Wineda will actually come at this point with some tea, and be like, oh, does anyone need to use the restroom? And that's what we'll take our bathroom break, since it is almost 11:30. So, all right. So for those
All right.
watching, we take an 8 to 10 minute bio break. So stay tuned. We will be back around that time. All right. Un momento.
This was supposed to be
My
a side
God.
quest. Now it sounded like a main quest. I don't know how I feel about this.
We'll see.
Picture it's like, but the baby. What's going on?
Save the princess.
we gotta get.
She is a queen, sir.
Oh.
Oh snap!
I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I love it that we got to get our main quests in while Andrew's not here.
Yes.
So much has happened. Like, process it.
So many breadcrumb trails all going in different directions.
Quick, what can we do that Steph didn't plan for?
Go fishing.
Kill the bugbears.
The gerbil just goes up. Take me to your leader. I've the one thing I could do is arcade arch. I can't do that.
Well, you
Let's
haven't
go
tried.
fight the BBEG.
You haven't tried.
I mean, if I can't do druid craft,
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Don't assume. Don't assume. Go off into an alley somewhere.
But the problem is, I only do 2 of those. So it's like,
Oh, you only get 2 of those in a day, or
yeah, for a long rest, for a short rest. Yeah, twice per short rest. Okay, so I can take a nap. Was it Jurheim or Jornheim? Is there an inn?
Jurheim?
Jurheim.
yeah, I got it.
Jurheim.
So close. So close. Man.
Lord.
I wonder what their parents' names were for their kids to be Jurheim and Zelthura. It's probably just like Becky and Dave. They were just adventurous with their kids.
Please. Please.
Okay, well, we're still on break. Okay. How do you spell whatever empire the healer's at that's floating?
This is Aedirus. Aedirus.
I got every vowel wrong.
What did I write for? What did I write?
I just wrote something over in the something empire.
I wrote Erebus, like Erberus. Isn't that like from Mass Effect?
What?
Mine was IDERIS.
11th. Okay.
She's gonna start throwing like umlauts and different accents at us.
Umlauts, I understand. I took a year in German. That's all I remember from German. That is one of like my one college classes that like I regret not taking more seriously.
German.
Yeah. Well, just because I mean there was a whole lot of work, and I found out we all collectively as a class found out at the same time that the answers for all our like quizzes were in the back of the book.
Nice.
And the temptation was too strong. But it's like he was my favorite professor I had in all of college. He was great, and like he would always ask us about our homework the next day, and like most of us never did it. And he would like he would just look at you and just be like, "I'm disappointed, Tony."
Oh wow!
And your heart would just break, and I'm just like, "I'm sorry.
That sounds like a Prussian drawing teacher I had in college. Like, he would just like he was the most. Yeah, like anytime that like he was like if like I mean there wasn't a lot of times he was disappointed, but like if he was trying to like if he was like you can do better.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're like
yeah.
Don't hit me with the sincere eyes, please. You can do better.
He was the coolest. Like I still say this, but it's like if he wrote a book on his life, I would buy it instantly because he was this like short, like 4 foot tall Indian man, and he had like grown up in India and then got a scholarship to Germany for college, and then he just learned German and became a professor of German language. And then at one, like he'd like throughout the year I had him, he would sprinkle little things that we'd be like, wait, what? And he wouldn't touch on again. Like how he spent Christmas one year with like the prince of I'm dropping. It's this small little country that like LA is bigger than this country, and it's by Germany. No, Liechtenstein. When he was in college, everyone was going home for Christmas and everything, and he couldn't afford to go back to India, and so his professor was just like, "Oh, I have a friend in Liechtenstein who could put you up for the Christmas." And it wasn't until he got to Liechtenstein that he realized he was staying like in the Prime Minister's palace in Liechtenstein.
It's so weird and awesome.
Yeah, and that's just like he would just randomly like throw in these little tidbits of his life, and we're like, what? But I actually, he had a Facebook group for like every student, whoever like had him could join. And I had to leave the group because it became clear when he entered retirement, because then he just started sharing German memes every day. like not even fun German memes, like like memes like your mom would post, but they're German.
Yeah.
Or some of them would be in Hindi too, because he also taught Hindi. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay. We will,
Story time with Jonathan.
We will get back, and welcome back.
What if my professor's watching?
So, one of your professors watching, like, what a small world that would be. So, Jurheim kind of sits down at the table and kind of very heavy, and Wineda brings over some tea and starts kind of putting it into your hand. Here, this will calm nerves, and it, it's ginger. And you don't want it, that's fine. But she'll, put some in, kind of like almost insist some in front of Jurheim, with a little saucer. Can I, is anyone hungry? Do we need food? I can go and get some sandwiches. I'll go and get some sandwiches. And she'll kind of like give Jurheim a pat in the back and, kind of like look down to check on him and then head out. I'll be right back. And close the door behind her. And Jurheim just kind of sits there and stares down at the table.
Go ahead.
What time of day is it? Ish? Like evening?
No, it's probably like late afternoon, maybe like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
All right.
What year is it, by the way?
I don't know.
2046 post calamity.
Which calamity?
Oh God.
The one we started. No. Dun, dun, dun. No. Jurble will kind of sip his tea and just we found Wineda's one of Wineda's Warforged kind of broken down outside in the woods near Bornheim. He was carrying a flyer for a festival in Trindlewag.
Okay.
Do you know why Wineda would have her Warforged out there with a flyer for a festival in another?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it's over in Victa, right?
Yes. It was a coincidence because just by happenstance we were actually in Victa for that festival.
Oh, that is a coincidence. I have a sister that's over there.
Yes. We met Zelthura.
Oh. Okay. How is she? How is she doing? Haven't seen her in a bit.
Good. She seemed good. Yeah. But she had told us that she was heading to Bornheim to meet up with you.
Oh.
So
I wonder when she was planning on coming.
When was the last time you saw your sister?
It's been, gosh, I guess maybe a year or 2. It's been a while. Oh.
I didn't mean to add more to your plate.
He's gonna look at the. You see him kind of look up. Not really at any of you, but he searches the room and looks at Rusty, who's just kind of standing off to the side. Jurheim quickly gets up and heavy foot falls towards the Warforged, and kind of... I mean, it's already kind of standing against the wall, but he kind of puts a hand on the chest of the Warforged and kind of puts a little pressure that kind of pushes the chest of it against the wall. What have you seen? Incorrect. Of course.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole... It took us a while to even get to the Wineda part.
It's a fun game if you want to play it.
He's not looking at any of you, but he's looking at the door and just kind of looks around the shop again. Do you think that she came here after the occupation? Are you sure that she said that she was coming here?
Yeah, she definitely said that. Rusty, did you ever meet Zelthura when you were in Bornheim?
He doesn't do well with specific questions.
He knows where Bornheim is.
No, but like, did we? I feel like we asked. Never mind. Let Rusty answer.
What did you ask, Ren?
I said, did you ever meet Zelthura in Bornheim?
Incorrect.
Okay.
You may not know her name. Renarius, could you do a minor illusion of what Zelthura looked like for Rusty to see? We could just ask him, have he seen this person?
I could certainly try. Yes.
Thank you.
And I will do just that.
Rusty, did you meet this lady?
Jurble will step back from Renarius just to be like, oh, wait,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Social distance.
Rusty will point a finger towards the image, the illusion. Orc.
Yes.
Where did you see your work?
He just looks at you again.
Just looks at me?
Is the orc in Bornheim?
Correct.
Did you meet orc in Bornheim?
Incorrect.
Did you see orc go into Bornheim?
Incorrect.
Just
I don't really know any other options.
That look on your face.
I know it's that face of like, not this again.
Incorrect.
Did you see orc being taken into Bornheim?
Incorrect.
Oh, really?
Maybe we
Really
should
thought you were onto it there.
Maybe we should let Jurheim, ask some questions.
With that, I would take it if you would look over at Jurheim. Jurheim is on the floor. He has that look.
He just collapses and we're going, no, yes or no questions only.
We just keep going. We'll get to you.
Jurheim is sitting, he was standing the last time you saw him, and he's been there the whole time, but y'all have been pretty focused on Rusty. So now you look over at Jurheim. Jurheim is sitting crouched on the floor with his back against the wall, head kind of in between his knees, and you can see his shoulders trembling.
Piction's going to walk slowly towards him. She doesn't want to startle him or anything. Then kneel down next to him, in front of him, and put her left hand on his shoulder.
He looks up to you, Pixrin, and tears just streaming down his face. Why? Why does it continue to take? And just look back down.
Why does what keep continuing to take?
It's taken everything. It's taken her. And now it's know that it's working through those monsters. And it's taken Zell. And what? Am I just supposed to stand back and just keep praying while it keeps taking? No. No. He'll try to shakily stand to his feet, trying to use mostly the wall for support, but he might kind of put a hand on your shoulder. Pixrin.
Jurble would kind of offer help, but be cautious.
He takes a step back from it. It's more like Jurble, like you step up to offer help, but he'll kind of he's been mostly kind of despondent except his conversation with Pixrin. Excuse me. And he kind of comes to for a second looking at you, Jurble, and for a second you see this kind of anger, unbridled anger on his face, but he quickly brings it back and just starts to step away, but eases, but doesn't like reach out to you for help or anything. Yeah. He just sorry to interrupt you, Pixrin. What were you saying?
It's all good. She was going to whisper towards him. Are you talking about the Sheikah?
He kind of looks over at you slowly, Pixrin. No, I don't know what that is. Pixrin, as you're standing this close to him, you feel the pendant get just a little bit hotter. And your guys' reactions kill me. I can't even. I just need to like bring down all of the cameras and just it feels a little bit hotter, and I don't know that name, but no, I'm the Great One, of course. What else?
Right. My apologies. Can I ask an out of... I want to ask an out of character.
Sure.
So, how tall was the queen? Like medium? height?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, she's if he's gonna sit down in a chair or anything, she would help him, but she's going to have him lean a little bit more against the wall because she wants to talk to Rhaenyra real quick. And do you think that maybe would you be able to cast that again? That whole image thing that you do? And she's kind of whispering this and towards Rhaenyra's if
With the pendant or no?
No, I think she's means the illusion.
yeah.
Do you mean of Zelthura or of Lady Anselm?
The lady. I was going to see what I can do is and the reason I asked out of character was because of with dancing lights you can have all of the lights be one into one form of medium height. But it would just be like a glowing form of the person and not an actual visual. So if I can only do this one little thing with lights, but I could put the lights behind your... That might be a little too much. Do you think you might be able to do that again? Just for him, just for a minute?
Of course. And I'll cast minor illusion.
And Picture's going to cast dancing lights and have do what I said out of character, if that was going to be all right, and kind of have it behind the illusion and to brighten it up a little bit so he could see it better, and walk towards Tegan. Tegan, the closer I was to him, the hotter this felt. She'll just go like this. There's something really wrong, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do.
I don't know if he's affected or I don't know. I don't know enough about magic to know what's this warming has to do with anything. Maybe it's an after. Anybody from seemed like anybody from Bornheim.
Well, when I whispered in his ear, I asked him who he was talking about, and I was like, is it Shiga? And it's like, I have no clue. And he acted like he had no clue and was like, oh, I'm talking about the Great One. And I was like, as soon as I mentioned the name, though, it got hotter. And it felt weird. And I'm really torn about this because on one hand, I just kind of want to sucker punch somebody. But also, all I can think about is that baby.
Yeah.
As you guys are having this conversation, anyone else watching can, because he can see this, right? So picture, he can see the image.
Yeah, he'd be able to see it.
He just kind of stares transfixed at it, and maybe takes like a kind of a wobbly step towards it, and just kind of like reaches through and kind of plays with the light with his hand around her face. Sorry, go ahead.
She'll, Picture will go around the room and whisper the same thing that she told Tegan to everybody else while he's basically transfixed on the image.
You're muted, Zach.
So you think it warmed up because you said Shiga, not because you were near him specifically?
That's why I'm confused.
I'll hold up my pendant and like whisper to it. Shiga. Anything happen?
Nope, it does not get hotter.
The house explodes.
Science! It's not that.
Just imagine Red just in the corner. Science! What? Just all this.
Tegan will grab his pendant and tell the others, I'm going to go. It's okay with you. I'm going to think we should volunteer to go outside and clue in Aurelius about what's been going on and see if he has any ideas.
At this time, Wineda comes back with sandwiches.
Of course she does.
So you hear the door open and everyone just kind of looks up, including Jurheim. Do you keep the illusion up, Pixern? Or Rhaenyra, I guess?
I mean, it stays up for an hour.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
keep mine up for. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
keep mine up.
Yeah, Jurheim will kind of look at the door too, kind of being pulled out of the transfixed state of staring at that, and she comes in with a kind of a satchel filled with sandwiches, these wrapped sandwiches, and you smell this wonderful smell of fish and bread, and she steps in. Oh, kind of reading all of your faces, are just like, and then Jurheim is just like, tear-stained face, and you have this image in the middle of the room. What happened? Jurheim's going to step forward towards Wineda, and they have Zell. Oh, isn't that your sister? He won't respond to her directly. He'll just kind of look back at the rest of you and at the image and look back at Wineda. And just kind of shake his head.
Jurble will kind of interject and just, when we found Rusty, he had a flyer. We gathered from Rusty that Rusty encountered Zelthura, and Zelthura is now in Bornheim, supposedly.
Oh. She kind of looks back at Jurheim. I'm so sorry. I don't really know what to say. He will put the hood on his head and just kind of not push past Wineda, but just kind of roughly walk around her and out the door, leaving the rest of you with Wineda. Oh,
As soon as he leaves, she'll drop her dancing lights.
You don't think he's gonna do anything rash, do you?
Of course he's going to do something rash.
Really?
I don't know. I have sandwiches here, and she will she seems very kind of like, kind of off in her own world right now, and as she's trying to process all of this, and just starts like sitting sandwiches on the table one by one, just piling them up. I didn't know what everyone liked, so I got a variety. I'm really sorry to hear about his sister. He was already in a state.
Wineda, why was your Warforged? Why did we find your Warforged out in the woods? Just
I don't know why it was out. I mean, I sent it out to kind of patrol back and forth in case, you know, the bugbears attacked anyone, or so it was told to hide. I programmed it to hide when possible. And I don't know.
It was attacked.
I'm
It
sorry?
had that paper. It was attacked and had that paper in its hand. So clearly it was
Oh, they must have.
a warning.
And she'll go over to Rusty and so flyer, do you have the flyer still?
yeah, I would say I would have kept it. Pull it out.
Okay, so she will take the flyer and hold it up to Rusty. Bornheim? Correct. Inside Bornheim. Correct. Oh, I sent it to get out of Triton and get some stuff from the house. It's supposed to be sneaky, but I guess I need to work on a few things. Orc? Correct. Orc inside Bornheim. Correct. Orc in chains? Correct.
Where was she last session?
Is Orc alive?
He just kind of looks at you, Renarius. That's kind of an open question. I mean, it's processing probably that she might not be alive now, but was she alive when you saw Orc? Correct.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, kind of have to be careful with the wording. It processes things and it sees things, but it doesn't really have the concept of past and present and those sort of things. Well, please eat. Have a sandwich. I guess I'll try to go and see if I can find Jurheim. He might have went to the house. I mean, to where, and she'll kind of look at the rest of you, to where, you know, Lady Anselm was living. So.
You want one of us to accompany you?
Oh, I'm not afraid of Jurheim. Just enjoy your sandwiches. I will be back shortly. I won't leave you here too long by yourselves. Just a few minutes and kind of Rusty, watch him and close the door.
Rusty steps in front of the door. No. As soon as she leaves,
she steps back in, and looks at you, Jurble. I wouldn't go about if you can help it.
I wasn't planning to.
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
I had one ask me about you, because they saw you coming through and coming into the office, and well, they asked about the bugbear, not you specifically, and I told them that you were part of the regimen and just getting some things worked on. She's going to kind of step back in and get this box off of the counter. And as she picks it up, you hear some, like, kind of clanking against the wood inside. And I just forgot something. And she will head out. And you're alone. With your sandwiches.
I eat a sandwich.
Picture's just gonna take one of each sandwich and start stuffing her face.
Sandwich.
There's really enough for, like, two for each of you.
Oh yeah, she'll take two. Two. Yep.
She'll take 2 of each sandwich.
Where are the sandwiches?
Not sharing.
Tegan will say, if it's all right with everyone, I'll go outside and contact our friend.
Probably.
Why go outside?
Then I'll just look at Rusty.
Oh, okay.
Rusty just stands there.
Correct.
If anyone, come with me, that's fine. I just can't be too careful.
Yeah, Buddy's just.
But I mean, I'm all for it. You do you. But technically, can't you message him in your mind? So Rusty's not even gonna hear it.
I'm asking. Yeah, I'm thinking. When I use the pendant to contact Aurelius, am I using mental or using the pendant to contact Aurelius?
How have you been using it with everyone else? Mental.
Okay, so
yeah.
All right, so
you would assume
So
it
I will-
would. You
It's
would
the
assume
peer pressure. He can't do it when people
you
are
would
looking.
assume it would work the same way, Tegan. You haven't tried it, but you would assume it would work the same way as when you talk
Okay.
to the others.
But you do you, Tegan.
Yeah, you do.
No, I will grab the pendant and broadcast on all channels so everyone.
Hey-o. I was gonna say, can we do it like a group conversation? Does it work?
You can try.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
Try. As he's doing
Let's
it, I'm
all
gonna like
grab our
mentally try and
pendants.
listen to
You
what
guys
he's
didn't
saying.
get an instruction manual with these things, so you know.
No, we didn't.
I'm gonna see if I can be nosy. She's just holding it while she's munching on the sandwiches.
Are we all okay?
So
It's
y'all,
up to you.
so y'all
Yeah,
can
you
hear this like
grab
slight
one and
kind of
listen
like
in.
munching sound through
In the
My
background.
gosh,
through the
it's like,
in the
it's like
background.
those old like 4-way calls, you know? It
Yeah.
is, like,
Yeah,
TV.
you hear like the rustling of the sandwich bag and
Aurelius, and I'll wait for just a confirmation that he's listening.
oh. Hey there, Tegan and group.
Yes.
Ah,
Bornheim
Hi.
has fallen.
Hello.
Bornheim has fallen.
Oh. Well, that's too bad.
Okay.
Another one's
Oh,
good.
sorry.
another one bites the dust.
Do you have proof of this?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not just
Yes.
hearsay, correct?
We witnessed firsthand bugbears on the parapets.
There's bugbears
Oh.
everywhere.
Yeah, that.
I mean, can you do a mind reading thing where you can actually
Ooh.
look at images in our head or something or memories?
No, that's not how these.
I'm thinking about a picture right now. Can you see it?
No, I can't
Oh.
see it.
Oh,
But I hear some munching in the back, so I'm guessing you're thinking of food.
We
Sorry,
are
Joe.
This
in.
is why we step outside.
I
Tegan instantly regrets making this a group
This is all
conversation.
being said. This is all being said with her mind. In the room, it's just silent.
Silent,
Everyone's-
yeah.
Yes,
Just
yes.
munching.
Rusty's just like watching on.
We are in Echo.
Echo,
Oh,
echo,
echo,
where-
echo.
Oh,
where is Echo again?
Eastern Coast.
East coast, east of Fairweather.
Oh, I haven't been
Southeast
over
of
that way.
Fairweather.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about Bornheim. That's definitely. So it's fallen, but who has it fallen to?
Gorban and the
Bugbears.
Bugbears.
Jurbles.
Oh, Jurble, I am sorry.
Would you be more concerned if you knew that maybe a time device artifact is there?
That would be concerning. Yes. Why do you think that there is one there?
We
You know
just heard a
that gold ball with
description.
rings?
Yeah, we heard a description that sounded very much like one.
Okay.
That
Okay, we heard.
All right.
We heard. Okay, we heard a description that matched this artifact that the Queen's family had guarded. It sounded very much like the artifact, and the one who told us this was heard rumors that somehow the bugbears got it to somehow
Or
work.
maybe got it.
It's a rumor.
It's a rumor, but he also did say separately how they thought they had more time before the bugbears evaded, and then they just appeared. And they were all surprised at how fast they had gotten there. Which
I didn't catch that one.
which
Did I?
I noticed that remark because while bugbears are sneaky individually, most of the time, I'll touch my stafford.
And you did.
No army could sneak up on a city like Bornheim, even in its distressed state beforehand. So I just it has me worried.
no.
Ooh, it also apparently used to bring the lady back a couple of times. For some
Bring the
reason.
lady back.
From the dead.
Lady Anselm supposedly died, and they would use the device to bring her back.
Oh
to life.
yes, I've heard of this before. Yes, it's kind of a Bornheim myth, as it were. I mean, I never was able to get the truth out of Lady Anselm's parents, but
Apparently, she's much older than she appears.
oh
Maybe
yes,
told-
I knew that
maybe-
too.
Okay.
So apparently what happened was Bugbears attacked Lady Anselm and Jurheim, escaped. Lady Anselm went back for the artifact.
So supposedly,
That is-
Lady Anselm's is missing.
Is missing, currently missing.
We
Oh.
assume she
made-
went back.
Yes, we have made contact with Jurheim, but he may be going back to Bornheim.
Why would he do that?
It appears,
Zara's there.
yeah.
Seeking his sister, who is rumored to be in
Oh.
Bornheim.
Oh, that does take the cake, doesn't it?
Yes.
And one more thing. Would you know of
More?
any reason? It appears that when we approach anyone, I think, that has been in Bornheim, our pendants start to get really warm.
Can I come in as the DM here for a second? You also felt it on Philip, who was not in.
Yeah. I was gonna say not just Bornheim.
Who's Phil?
Yeah.
Philip's the guy
Philip
from
was in the
Montreal.
gnome.
You
village,
guys weren't
the
here.
gnome.
Philip's the BBEG. We met the Gnome
He's
Village.
the uber emo kid. That,
Oh right, we only had like 3
okay.
players that
Magic.
night.
Let him go into the forest.
Yes,
and
so
come
Philip
back.
was a gnome that
That's on
y'all
Red.
met
Not
in.
your-
He
in
was the magic
Mossvale.
dude. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
with cuts and stuff all over himself.
They felt the pendants get warm around
Yeah.
him as well.
Okay.
And then we also felt the pendants really, really hot around the assassin.
Right.
The
So,
current list of pendant people is
wow.
Jurble's wound,
Philip.
Jurheim,
the-
Philip, and the bugbear
the-
assassin.
okay.
I just
That-
imagine like we're still in that silent room.
When the bugbear assassin was dead, I hugged him, and I didn't feel it. So Just saying.
You
Our
hugged the
pigeons
bugbear assassin?
Kind of laid down on top of it, but it's neither here nor there.
All that to say, our pendants
there's a lot.
get warm.
There's a lot of talking right now, and it's hard for me to. This is.
Is this in character or
no,
DM?
No, this is Anselm. Yeah, this being like.
Okay.
Yeah,
Our
really.
pendants get hot.
Yeah, why would they get hot? Is what we want.
Right. I didn't pass that along to you.
No.
Apparently not.
Oh, Geneva, we need to update the notes on that. On that.
What's really
Geneva.
working for?
Yes. The pendants will get hot when you're around Shiga infected things, individuals, places. Yes.
Thank you.
Infected.
Yes.
Speaking of infected,
And this
Great call. Segue.
and this can so you've experienced this a few times already, it sounded like.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't mean, and you, all of you will also hear some like plates clattering and some like it sounds like forks hitting like silver
On
like,
our end or
like,
his
on
end?
his end.
Okay.
oh,
I will remind you that the Shiga just they can infect people without fully infecting them. You will feel that even when the Shiga are starting to take hold, or if, say, it's almost like a mood meter. Have you seen any of those? I think they have them on your plane. The mood rings that change color when you when you wear them.
I've never heard of this.
Sounds like black magic.
Who
They
can
were
I have
really.
one of those?
We should ask that Triton.
Pretty colors.
I'll see if I can find you some. They are fascinating objects. You wear them and it detects your mood. So the gemstone changes color as you're wearing it. It goes from red to blue. Fascinating. Geneva, write down. Could you just write down just to get...
Run down to the truck stop and grab some of them.
local souvenir shop down there.
Could you try to
Grab
get
that goop pamphlet too.
5?
Get some pet rocks while you're at it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of those mood rings, please.
I just
Actually, go
I
ahead
just
and get
imagine-
10. Actually,
the
20. Go ahead and get
the
20
divvy-
of
There
them.
you go.
just
It's cheaper when you
imagine in the
bulk
Divvy
order.
Plate,
Yeah.
in the
It
Divvy
is.
Plate, they have those like polished rocks that kids can just buy a bag and just.
Yeah. No, not there. They don't make them well there, Geneva. They try. Yes, that's the one.
Hello.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Still,
No, that was not the particular infection I was referring to.
well, but it might be the same-ish.
This
Well,
is
probably not.
what I'm getting to, though, is that the pendant will get warm. The warmth level goes with. Well, it can go a couple of ways. Either the closeness to something that is extremely infected by Shiga, or fully infected, or if it's just lower warmth levels will either mean that you're farther away from something that's fully affected by Shiga, or that the person or item that you're interacting with isn't hasn't quite got there yet. It's just so like a mood meter. It's like when someone is angry, and you can tell when they're starting to get angry, and then you can tell when they're about when they kill someone.
Can the infection be a literal infection? Because Jurble was stabbed by poison, and a healer cleared the poison, but said there was a part that was left in him that he couldn't get out.
Oh.
That actually has stopped him from doing magic. And when we were near Jurble and the wound, it slightly warmed up.
not just me not being able to do magic items around me.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Stop working.
Oh, that
Any magic around me.
is interesting.
Like, is it,
I don't know if Shiga affecting magic items, but if it's...
Sounds
It
like
was.
a
It
personal
seemed to be a
problem.
poison on an
not if I'm
assassin's
standing
blade.
next to you.
No, I understand that, but perhaps the poison was just an agent. It was just a tool. But how? I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm gonna have to think
So you
about
don't
it.
happen to have a cure to my no magicness?
I don't know what's causing it. When you get a chance, I mean, I wouldn't do it until you're done with what you have to do there for a bit, but when you get a chance, you can hop back up here and we can do some studies. I'll send you over to the library. But places there. I know the Aurelius Empire has, or I'm getting my names mixed up. Erebus, the Erebus
Something
Empire.
Empire, got it.
The Erebus Empire, it has some fine healers there.
So we've heard.
Maybe some drow might have the capabilities for advanced healing, if even healing would help you. But if you can't find anything there, please come here and we can do some studies.
Oh, you're gonna be a science experiment.
Science?
Only if he has to be.
What?
Hey,
This is new territory. Of course, you won't come into any harm, Jurble, but I would love to see this in action.
Everybody knows that after the word
But-
is a bunch
hey,
of crap,
Maybe.
right?
also,
Harm.
if it has trouble with magical items, would that not pose a problem with the magical item that takes us to the Dibby? How am I talking to you?
Oh, it works.
Pendants
This
work.
is-
We tested that.
This is all
I know, but
different.
why?
This is all.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah,
Oh,
says
these
that.
are
So you're.
It's like the crystals, okay? It's just natural. It's not the same thing. Okay?
the pendants are crystal based. Gotcha.
Showing that you're able to contact me through the key shows me that you will be able to use the device to get you back here.
Just covering all the bases.
Understandable. Again, this is I wish I had more information for you, Jurble. I really do, but this is fascinating.
I know you can't see, but Picturin is holding up her hand. I think she
Oh.
wants to say something.
Extra, yes, I'm sorry, I can't see you through the keys.
Oh, sorry. I forget. Well, I was talking with Jurheim, and so he was saying that something keeps taking everything from him, and but I had done an oopsie. He was talking about the Great One, but I mentioned Sheikah a little bit. He
Yes.
didn't know what the heck I was talking about, but when I got closer to him, the hotter my pendant felt. And so I'm really confused because, like, on one hand, I want to help him with his sister and finding the lady and stuff and the baby and whatever else is going on. But then on the other hand, there's this stuff that we have to worry about. And so, like, I'm really confused.
Oh, thank you, Geneva. Could you get one with sprinkles on it, please? Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Can I order one?
Oh, if I could send you some picture, I definitely would. Now, thank you, Geneva. To your question, it seems to me, I don't think it was the word Shiga that
If she said it 3 times.
made the
What do you
pendant hot. Now that I don't know what effect that would have. Please,
Okay.
if
just
you
checking.
want to try to report back, well, you know, when you come back here, you
Man,
don't have
stop
I will,
ratting
for
me
science.
out.
But how, may I ask the temperature of the key? Was it scalding? Was it burning your skin? Was it just a little bit warm? Are we talking the warmth? Are we talking the warmth of say a fresh donut, or the warmth of
I like donuts.
or the warmth of
We're really
a hot
talking like
pocket out of the oven?
A what?
Well, it was. What's a hot pocket? That sounds good.
Oh, you have to. It's bread. It has pizza inside. It's wonderful.
What's pizza?
From another plane. I don't think it's from yours, but
What?
I will try to get Geneva. Thank you.
Jurble just mouthed to everyone.
Vixen's so excited talking about food. Oh, well, at first, my pendant was warm, and then it got like really hot, but not. I don't think it got hot enough to go. Just a really bad impression of sizzling noises.
I will say, Pixarin, what you felt with the pendant with him was probably the less hot that you felt at like any other time, like except when it's not hot at all. So it's probably on the more minimal scale of hot than what you've experienced, say, like around the assassin or elsewhere. Right. I wonder, was this after you told him about his sister? Yes, it was.
Okay,
Oh yeah, I'm shaking my head. I'm not saying anything. Sorry about that.
Because, I mean, I am aware of the closeness of Jurheim with Lady Anselm. I'm sure that has him upset if she's missing. Their kingdom was taken away, and now you're telling him that his sister is gone.
Mood ring.
Exactly, Pixarin. You
You
smart.
win a donut.
Eureka!
You can have
I'm
all the
not holding
donuts
that.
you want when you visit. Something always is coming like your favorite uncle that has like snacks all the time.
Right.
So it's not detecting his mood per se, but what I have explained to you about the Shiga is that it's derived from the intense emotions of the mages long past. So there are cases, not always, but there are cases where the Shiga seek people to thrive on, to control. And the way to do that is through people who are in intense emotional states. Not really, usually anger. That's a good leeway for them. Other things as well, but if someone was angry and desperate enough and feeling that way, which it sounds like Jurheim might be, it could be that Shiga that you can't see are trying to work into him, per se. They are trying to lay hold of him, almost like a leech would if you're wading through some murky water.
Ugh.
So keep that in mind. I don't think Jurheim's always been a good chap. I don't think that
We're screwed. We're screwed.
I don't think that
Hot pocket hater.
I don't think that he's fully infected. I couldn't imagine. But maybe this sudden the sudden insight, the sudden burst of anger and desperation that he might be feeling could allow the Shiga to work its way in, or start to.
Oh, because you're so emotional, it's easier to get in.
Right.
Sad
They use
of
it as
you.
a
She
leeway.
makes a really bad joke.
If you're not calling on them directly, they still want to control as many as they can, so they will do what they can. Am I making sense? Am I making myself clear?
Yep.
Motions are evil.
No, that's Jurble.
Kill everyone on sight.
I knew we should have killed for that.
I guess I want to leave you with that. It's probably not the. It's, you know, there you can still work with Jurheim. I believe. I believe that you can. I'm not sure how to make him aware of this. Maybe he's not in the state to be aware of it, but with some caution and some, which I believe that your group can accomplish, or else I wouldn't have, signed you up. With some caution and gentle handling, I believe that you can probably maybe help him to steer away from whatever is happening.
Make him happy.
Sure, if that, yes, yeah. I maybe give him purpose or try to steer him away from blind anger. And that might just be what he needs to help fight against the Shiga that he's probably unaware of.
Does he like donuts?
I don't know. I've only met him a few times. Is there anything else that I can help with, or do you still need? Are we done here?
There's a real up-and-comer in Mossville named Bobby. You should watch for him. Sign him up in a couple years. He'd be a great guy
Bobby,
to help with the torchlight.
Geneva.
Yes.
Geneva.
And
Write it
there's
down.
another one named Philip, which put on the most wanted list.
Maybe. Given that it's a mood ring, maybe he's all right. We just need to help him out.
He's mood ring, but he's doing creepy magic.
It was definitely hotter.
He was doing creepy magic.
I know. But
Red
maybe...
is just like, what? Oops, whatever.
Right. So Bobby, write down Mossville.
Yeah. Bobby, he's gonna be great.
Yeah. Philip.
Give him at
is
least
someone to
15
look out
years.
for.
Bobby.
Without on the other list, Geneva. Right. It's in the drawer. Okay.
Maybe he needs to get a new assistant.
We are. The Torchlight Committee is just done.
Are you hiring?
Is there something? Are we good? Remember, you can let me know anything that comes up, but we don't. Are we okay?
Are you okay?
Yes. No.
Oh, I'm doing fine. I have some donuts
good.
here.
Just
I'll
checking,
be
just
enjoying
checking.
after I'm off the call.
That is so not fair.
Okay. Well, stay safe. I tell Jurheim I said hi. Well, I don't know. Maybe not, because you don't want him. I'm not sure. You should let him know that you're part of the committee. He's not.
Okay.
He's met me, but
That's good advice, probably.
especially with what you've told me.
Low profile.
Also, be aware that if the Shiga have taken, have started to try to take hold of him, they are aware of you. They're aware. Whichever Shiga has tried to get in are aware of you now. So, I guess it's something that we should consider. I need to go. It's been great. All right.
Enjoy your donuts.
And then it cuts off.
God, he hung up on us.
Joe's gonna let go of the minute. I suddenly feel less confident about this whole thing.
He seems so much more impressive in person.
These Zoom calls, man.
Tika does
Well, there we go.
his best Bruce Willis impersonation from Die Hard. Sure, join the torchlight. It'll be great.
Rusty, situation report. Did anybody attack us while we were talking?
Incorrect.
Perfect. Doing a great job, Rusty.
Doing a great job. Doing a great job, Rusty. Work on that vocabulary, will you?
It's a metal thing. I mean,
Well, you know.
Okay, real quick. So should we? I mean,
we're in front of a metal thing.
yes, correct.
Pendant talk.
I'll tell you what. It's start mind message, mind talking. Okay, what are we doing? Should we go and check on Jurheim? Should we give him some space? Should we go to this Erebus Empire so I can be magical again?
I know we're talking about the thing, but if you couldn't see, picture and raise your hand.
Yes, I see. Picture
Oh,
you can
just
speak.
checking.
You may have the talking stick.
Say no stick unless you're beating me with it.
Oh.
Well, yeah, hey.
Wait, no, not like that.
What
I'm
kind of?
used to being attacked all the whatever.
Like
Y'all
sure,
are dirty.
huh?
People thought
You
bugbears were
made fun of me
mean.
for I don't want to hear it from anybody. Ooh. You know what I want to do?
Eat a donut.
Besides eat a donut.
Let's go get some donuts.
They're probably weird and fishy here.
Was that your actual answer?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But long-term plan after donut run.
I
Are
guess
we-
wait for Wineda to get back. Maybe give her an hour or so.
Yeah. But even bigger thinking. If we
Well-
don't deal with Jurheim, he's probably gonna storm Bornheim like within a day and die.
Wait, you're telling you're thinking about going after him?
Well, I think we should. I mean, did Aurelius not just tell us to, keep an eye on him, give him purpose or whatever, to stop the Shiga from taking hold? And also,
Yes.
I mean, I for one feel a little responsible because I was kind of a downer to him, so
I mean,
Well, isn't also our mission
Wait
also
a
to
minute.
try and recover the artifacts too?
yes, and I mean I do think. Whoa.
Whoa.
um,
Oh.
but I mean, yes, I think eventually we're gonna have to deal with the whole Bornheim problem, but I for one don't feel ready to take on a bugbear army and retake a city. I just got stabbed.
Well,
Yeah, did you see?
Two bugbears.
Arrow to the face. Okay.
nobody suggested we do that.
Ooh.
do you have a spot shaved over the wound?
Like just a square from where
Yeah,
the
this whole situation, he's just had a cone on.
Yeah, over his head.
why don't I just
First, I would like to find out from Wineda. It sounds like the bugbears. They're sending parties out, so I wonder if they are letting people travel in and out of Bornheim.
Spies.
And if we do that, then obviously, Jurble, you can't go.
but
if we
also, I
could-
mean,
Try to
Yeah,
find.
or-
Well, I mean, and then I don't know if we go to Bornheim. Yeah, you definitely can't go.
But wait, is his brother there?
well,
I
that's
would
what I
assume.
was trying
He
to
might
get out of
have-
Jurheim.
Yeah, I mean, he might have
A kill on sight order for him? Yes.
Well, not
Yeah.
just that, but wait a minute. Hold on now. Don't you be laughing at me now.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Realize, despite the whole stabby, killy, the family members and stuff, he might have a leg up trying to talk with his brother if his brother's in Bornheim. He might be able to get inside.
We could always pretend we kidnapped, we captured Jurble.
Or you got a disguise kit or something, or I can
I
write
have
you
a
up some
disguise
fake
kit,
papers and
but I'm kind of at a loss how to disguise a
Is-
7-foot tall
I
bugbear.
I'm more concerned with how to get out of Bornheim after we get in. I don't think getting in is the problem.
oh,
And again, I mean, I wasn't really prepared when I could do my archery, and now I don't think I can because of the whole stabby magic Shiga thing. So, what if we figure out how close this Aramis Empire is? We already seem to have a few contacts. I mean, Aurelius told us to go there. The healer crystal dude said to go there. I mean, maybe we could get there, get my stuff sorted out. And then come back. And I don't.
We could certainly do
I
that.
think your vote is the strongest here, Jurble. You were the one who's afflicted. None of us.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't feel confident because I don't see us going into Bornheim without us not getting in a fight.
it's called strategy. And in war, you gotta figure out your strategy.
Is that not what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's a good thing. So let's find out how long it takes.
What
how
do
long
we
it takes.
remember of the city, though? It's the thing.
Weren't we waiting for the healer to hear back from someone?
Yeah, the healer had contact with someone in the Aramis Empire who could help with the whole thing.
Right. Anti-magic thing. Dispel magic affliction
Right,
you
but
have.
if he takes off before any of that stuff, what are we gonna do?
Well, that's why. I mean, I think we should probably, go
while
talk
you
to
have
Jurheim
him?
soon. But no, not storm Bornheim. Get Jurheim to not go to Bornheim. Tell him to kind of cool it. Let's give him like a mission,
Distract
a
him.
purpose.
What if we
Distract him.
ask him to join us to the Empire to help us just be more safe? Maybe just simply that, with the idea that gaining information from there will help us fight and maybe find Lady Anselm and his sister. Maybe that will give him a bit of a purpose to fight for something.
Tell him that we're on his side.
Well,
We
hopefully
are
he's
on
still
his
around.
side, right? Right.
He
Are
might
we on
not
his
feel
side?
like it right now. There's a lot of things going on with him.
I mean, they did want a floating city.
At that point, Wineda comes in.
Thank you.
Storms in.
Thank you.
And just starts like
Rusty Invader.
Like we all just drop.
Um, I think that you might want to come with me. Jurheim's kind of upset. And she's going to grab this. She's kind of pulling open these wooden cabinets. Pieces of metal kind of fall out as she does so, and they're just like crammed full of stuff. And she starts like pulling things out. She pulls out this small box and opens it and grabs this like silver brooch and just kind of like pushes it towards you, Jurble. Here, put this on. Here. And she's going to take it back over out of your hand and like put a chain on it and then give it back to you. Here, you can wear it around your neck. As soon as you do, Jurble, think of whatever you would like to be disguised as right now. Would you guys come with me to calm Jurheim down? He is incensed, and I don't know what to do.
Sure.
Okay.
How is he when he's drunk?
Gerble's
Oh wait,
good.
that may have been the
Worse.
wrong question.
I haven't seen him drunk, but he doesn't seem like a good drunk. Jurble, what are you looking like now?
Jurble would have panicked, and he just kind of looks like a weird Triton that still kind of looks a little bit like Jurble. Like,
Oh, wow.
like just a really ugly deformed Triton
Start.
with
Tigger's
long
gonna start
arms.
to-
So you're not
to
gonna
walk.
get any attention.
He's gonna start
Puffs
to
of
walk.
hair throughout his body.
No, I mean it would.
Wineda's gonna kind of like look you up and down and be like, okay,
You might want to try a little harder.
I mean, you
Okay,
can
I'll-
fix it if you
I'll
want.
think harder again, and I'll transform into a high elf. That would like.
Okay.
Good choice.
All right. Are we good? Did you eat some sandwiches? If not, bring some. Let's go.
Yes.
And so she's going to exit. Does
will.
everyone follow?
Yes.
All right. So, Wineda walks with purpose. You do see a bugbear kind of walking around in town. It is getting a little bit closer to evening. It's probably like around 4 or 5, maybe about 5 o'clock right now, getting close to 6. Your conversation with Aurelia has lasted a while, and you've had a couple conversations since then. So you do kind of see kind of the sky darkening just a little bit. You know, you walk, I mean, she's pretty close to the shoreline, but you do walk a little bit closer to the shore. Everyone make perception checks for me.
16 plus 4, 20. 30, 20.
Okay.
7.
17.
17.
20.
18.
So everyone except Ren notices that, again, if you didn't notice it before, as you're passing by the ocean and you're getting kind of closer to that shoreline, and you're going towards the mountain and getting kind of right up against the shoreline as the path kind of juts up. You get a little bit of a cliff kind of. You don't usually, I mean, most of y'all have probably been to the shore before, and you know that especially when you're in an area where, I mean, when even just on the beach, but especially where there are rocks where the waves kind of crash up against, you hear that. You hear that sound of the water, you know, coming in and going out and splashing. You don't hear that with this, and you look down at the ocean, and it's, again, that tide's coming in or starting to go out now, but it's very subtle, very subtle. And as Wineda walks like 10 feet ahead of you, and we'll say that Rusty's probably heading up the rear and just making sure that, I mean, I don't know, making sure you all follow, or you don't know, but he's in the back. And she takes you along this kind of path again that kind of goes in between, you know, it starts going kind of uphill alongside this mountain a bit. As all of you go up there, maybe everyone except Ren will notice that there are, as you kind of curve around this mountain and get kind of right up against that shoreline in the mountainside, you start seeing some houses and like rickety like wooden staircases that were built along the craggy mountainside that lead up to these houses that are almost on like just little like plateaus, like little tiny like pieces on the side of the mountain where the houses were built. And there are maybe about 10 of them, 12 of them that you can count. But the wooden walkways and the staircases are kind of leading up that mountainside to them. It's not where you're going. You're kind of walking under it on the rock, a little bit closer to the ocean. This is almost like jutting up, and then kind of going up the mountain at an upward angle. There's one wooden staircase kind of leading up to it, but you can tell in some places it's kind of broken off and from just no one taking care of it, or you would assume. You can almost see, if you rolled an 18 or above, you can almost see maybe a light on in one of the houses. But again, that's not where you're going. You're on the rock, kind of this rock path that still inclines a bit and kind of goes right up, is a part of this mountainside. And she follows that, and it gets a little bit narrow at points and narrower still, until you get to this. And at first, you're almost like, well, where is this going? Like, this is, but Wineda still walks with purpose in front of you, doesn't say anything. And you get to kind of this little kind of opening into the mountain. She leads everyone in a bit as you kind of go around these different big, huge rock pieces that are here in this almost like a cavern. And then to the right down this hallway. And as she takes you a few feet down the hallway, you start seeing like little rooms open up that are like, that have rugs in them. And you start seeing chairs sitting down. And as you're going deeper in here, you hear things crash. Things being, maybe to some of you would recognize as something, it sounds like something being thrown against something else, and you hear this kind of guttural yelling. You get past a couple more rooms, and looking in, everyone except Rin would kind of, going off that same perception check, would kind of notice, maybe even recognize a couple of things from like the Bornheim castle that maybe they brought with them. But it seems like someone has tried to make these rooms as livable as possible. Or these not even rooms, are just little like alcoves in this cavern, in this cave. There are even some like lights up, some sconces that have been placed out, candles lit along the hallway, even on little tables. And getting closer, like you can kind of recognize the yelling belonging to Jurheim. And as she takes you towards the end of the hallway and it kind of opens up into a bigger room, again, these candle sconces lighting the area, and there's these huge rugs on the floor. There are wooden pieces kind of scattered about the floor as you enter into this room, and all of a sudden another chair is thrown across the room and hits the wall. Wineda will stop in the doorway and kind of look at the rest of you. I can't get through to him. I don't. And she looks extremely worried. I'm really worried that I don't know. You hear another yell and hear something break in the room, and you see him kind of throw something against the ground and then just kind of stand there, chest heaving in anger. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Gosh.
I was that close to saying something, but
And so was I.
yep.
Now I gotta sit on this for a week. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well,
We got a week to think of good lines.
thank you.
This is worse than Bobby.
Thank you, players, for being here, and thank you, chat. Yes, you have a wonderful night as well. Yes, thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great night. We have, for those of you unaware, you've been watching The Forsaken, which is every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We have plenty of D&D content here on this channel. Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays we have D&D content at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, all those nights. We also have D&D content on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which is DM by Andrew, who's usually in our group but had to miss this evening, called the Tower of Dreams. Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, you have Mad Art with Steph, where Steph, do some Mad Art for the channel. And you can vote on that over on our Discord if you're not a part of it. I'm pretty sure with our viewers that probably all of you are, but we'll put it in there anyways. So check that out if you're not. We sometimes vote. I've been working through a lot of backlog lately, so that's been kind of the focus, and probably will be this week too. And also on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Madbird Plays, where people from the community, from the Madbird community and other communities get together to play some board games in Tabletop Simulator or on Jackbox. We also just started a Patreon, so if you're looking for ways to support Madbird streams, it's a great way to do so, and we encourage that actually over Twitch subscribing, because not only do you get more things, or not only do we get more from your patronage, but you also get some benefits. So each tier has something cool for you, everything from downloadable art to movie nights to like stuff you can use in your own one-shots, custom maps, blah blah blah, fun times. So check that out. Great way to support Madbird if you're looking for it. Otherwise, this is the let's get both the schedules. There we go. This is the time that we will be raiding over to someone else really quick. So let's take a look here and see who is streaming. I think we got Torpid Network. Role players are live, so let's head on over there per usual. Let's see here. I want to do that. But thank y'all again. It's been a wonderful evening. We appreciate everyone just hanging out with us this evening. So I guess that we will see you next Monday. All right? Head on over, give some role players some love. Adios. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.